Your main point from the print we got last night about the search business?
First of all, thank you so much for having me, Ed. We really like the report. I mean, the search business clearly is showing resilience. There's been a lot of, sort of investor concerns about search disruption happening at the hands of these generative AI chatbots such as ChatGPT or Perplexity. But if you actually look at the number of queries and the number of monetizable or commercial queries, that actually increased. So that kind of stands in contradiction to this overall narrative that investors have kind of jumped on about the death of Google search, which we do not agree with.
1.5 billion monthly users, I think, is what we heard from the CEO coming for search, and actually 1 billion podcast listeners on YouTube. Just the strength and the vastness of this business is significant, but that is why it's trying to be broken up. Just, are you factoring in any near-term sense, an impact on a sale of Chrome or an ability to have to share the data?
Well, first of all, when we're thinking about antitrust, it's important to separate the near term and the sort of medium to long term. In the near term, you have some headline risks, but there's actually very little actual business risk because Google is going to appeal, or Alphabet's going to appeal the decision that Justice Mehta sort of puts out in the summer of this year, and that appeals process may take some time. Now, as long-term investors, though, that still is a valid concern. The way we think about it is that there's a sort of range of antitrust outcomes, and we think some of the more value destructive remedies, such as the divestiture of Chrome or potential divestiture of Android, we do not think is likely. We think more sort of behavioral remedies, such as the end of exclusive revenue sharing agreements, or even certain other sort of changes that Alphabet would have to make with their deals with these OEMs and browsers would probably be at the forefront of the eventual remedies, and that's what we're modeling in.